And now at 5, the clock is ticking to President Trump's 8 p.m. deadline for Iran to make a deal and reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran has been a horrible actor on the world stage for the better part of 50 years. And for them to be finally taken to task, I don't think a lot of people disagree with that. The problem is that the president's rhetoric makes it very difficult to discern what exactly the end game is.
Iran says if the president follows through on his threat to target energy and civilian infrastructure, it will, quote, deprive the U.S. and its allies of the region's oil and gas for years. This morning, the president raised concerns about possible war crimes being committed after he posted this on social media, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Well, this evening, the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says only the president knows where things stand and what he will do. Good evening, and thank you for being here with us. I'm Katie Houston.
And I'm Rob Powers. Damon Maloney off today. The president's social media post has drawn some criticism. Our Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trowell spent this day reaching out to Ohio lawmakers to see what they think of the president's comments. Morgan.
Well, Rob, I don't know, because we reached out to all of the Ohio's congressional delegation, and the vast majority did not want to touch this. But we did find Representative Dave Joyce at a ribbon-cutting ceremony, and he was the only member of Trump's party to comment.
They want us to keep bombing.
A deadline and a threat. In a social media post on Tuesday morning, President Donald Trump wrote, a whole civilization will die tonight if a deal with Iran to reopen a major oil route isn't reached by 8 in the evening. And it's prompting fear from Democratic Congresswoman Shontel Brown.
It was reckless, it's embarrassing, it's insane. It's frightening, to be honest, that this is the person who is in charge right now.
And explanations.
The president has his way of negotiating, which is unique to him. I don't speak to the things that he talks about or writes about on his social media.
Republican Congressman Dave Joyce downplayed Trump's comments, saying it was a tactic to get the Iranian leadership to make a deal. Do you think that this is just hyperbole?
I think anybody who's dealt with President Trump since 2015 when he came down the escalator realizes that he talks a lot in hyperbole.
Trump also threatened to bomb power plants and bridges. When asked if attacking civilian infrastructure could be a war crime, he said,
I'm not worried about it.
Do you condone that he said he's not at all worried about committing war crimes?
Again, you have to measure what happens versus what the president says. But right now, I'd like to think that part of the bluster and bravado of what the president has to say should be measured against what he actually does.
But Brown brought up how the lives of millions of people are at stake and says his comments are dangerous and inappropriate.
This is a president who continues to make threats, and it's no way to govern, and it's clear that he doesn't have a plan on how to get out of this war of choice, one that he solely decided that was unauthorized by Congress.
Democrats are now urging Republicans to reconvene and end the war as soon as possible.
Once we get this back in session next week, we'll have a good chance to have a serious discussion with the White House on where we're going moving forward.
Now again, we are waiting for that 8 o'clock deadline to see what actually will happen.
3 hours away, and we'll stay on it, and certainly more to come tonight at 6:30 with David Muir. Morgan, thank you so much for the update from Columbus tonight.